Israelites, I have no idea if that's how it's pronounced, by the way, but if you say it with confidence, most audiences just kind of think, oh, he knows how that is. So anyway, I just wanted to be honest with you. Anyway, nobody actually knows how it's actually pronounced because Hebrew was a dead language, and Hebrew of today isn't the same language. So you can say it any way you want and be right. Just think of it that way. All right. So they're subjected for 8 years. But when they cried out to the Lord, he raised up for them a deliverer, Othniel, son of Kenaz, Caleb's younger brother, who saved them. Now, this language is very interesting, isn't it? The Spirit of the Lord came upon him so that he became, come back. I'm on battery power tonight, so I'm having a little problem here. My computer is. I'm not actually on battery power. But the Spirit of the Lord came upon him so that he became Israel's judge, Shophet, and went to war. And the Lord gave Cushan Rishathaim, king of Aram, into the hands of Othniel, who overpowered him. So the land had peace for 40 years until Othniel died. Now, here's what happens there, okay? Rebellion. So the guys that God has brought into the land, the people of Israel, they rebel. They rebel by, again, worshiping the gods of the land, engaging in idolatry, rejecting Yahweh. And in response to that, there comes a point in time where God in love will discipline them, and he does that by sending in usually a foreign invader that represses, that basically conquers them and puts them into subjection to them and represses them. It's funny because I was looking at today thinking, now today would it be recession instead of repression? And in response to that, it gets their attention. And so eventually, in this case, was it eight years takes? Eventually, they repent and they cry out, and God, in response, raises up a restorer, a hero, a judge. Well, this cycle occurs there's 7 primary cycles exactly like this in the book of Judges. Over this period, for 400 years, it's like a broken record, over. And then there's these minor cycles that you see too. And over and over and over again, this is their history. I mean, this is the narrative that you're looking at this, and really, it's like insane. It just keeps happening over and over and over again. Long period of time. Remember, that's part of what you need to factor in. And it's what this is doing, by the way, in terms of, remember, always pushing the narrative forward, is that in the storyline, it's setting you up for the kingdom. Okay? And the final verse of the book is this, that in those days there was no king in Israel, and everyone did what was right in his own eyes. And that brings this act to a close and sets us up for the story of the kingdom. I should say one thing, by the way, that demonstrates how bad things have got, because toward the end of the book, one of the stories we're told, I'm probably going to blow this, but you'll get the general idea, is that it's actually a Levite. An Israelite priest has a concubine, and he comes to one of the cities of Benjamin, Gibeah, I think. And there, someone extends hospitality to him and invites him to come and stay for the night. And while he's there at the house, the men of the city come, and it's like deja vu of Sodom and Gomorrah. They come to the house and they demand the concubine. They want to have sexual relations with her, and again, these aren't the Canaanites; these are the Israelites. And the guy, gives them his concubine, and they basically rape her all night long. and she dies. And he takes her back to his home and cuts her into 12 pieces and sends a piece to each of the tribes of Israel to say, this is where, basically, this is what things have degenerated to. And the 12 tribes are outraged. And basically, they go to war and defeat the tribe of Benjamin. But what I think the significance is that Israel has, by this point in time, degenerated to the level of Sodom and Gomorrah. And unfortunately, a theocracy is not working for them anymore. And therefore, they're going to need something new, and it's what they're going to get is a king. And so that takes us to the next scene.